When I mention hydrogen peroxide, what do you think of? Probably peroxide blondes, and most likely Marilyn Monroe. Although she wasn't the first peroxide blonde, that honor goes to Jean Harlow, who's known as the platinum blonde. Well, Jean actually wasn't platinum blonde to start with. Her hair had to be dyed blonde. Well, not exactly dyed, but the melanin, the dark pigment in her hair, had to be completely destroyed. So they used a variety of chemicals. They used hydrogen peroxide mixed with sodium hypochlorite, which is bleach, and ammonia. And this is not necessarily a good mix. Jean died at a very young age, 26, and she died of kidney failure. And there is a theory that her constant use of hair dyes led to the kidney failure. It's not conclusive, but it's an interesting thing to note. Anyway, the reason I mention this is because hydrogen peroxide is such an interesting substance. Aside from destroying the melanin in hair, of course, it can be used as a disinfectant, and believe it or not, it can also be used as a rocket propellant. Because under the right conditions, hydrogen peroxide breaks down and generates water in the form of steam and oxygen. And if those gases are propelled out of a vehicle, the vehicle will go in the opposite direction. Newton's third law: for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Well, during the Second World War, the Germans made use of this technology, and they actually developed a plane, a rocket plane. It was called the Comet, and it used hydrogen peroxide to generate the hot gases that propelled it. Let me show you how that works. Of course, we're going to do this symbolically, and imagine that we have a little rocket engine here, and in there we have our hydrogen peroxide, and we mix in a catalyst to break down the hydrogen peroxide into water. But of course, because it's an exothermic reaction, there's a lot of heat. The heat changes the water into steam, and out it comes. And of course, it comes out with great pressure, and that propels the vehicle in the opposite direction. Well, luckily, the Germans were not able to perfect this technology because the Comet was really quite a remarkable plane. It could soar to great heights, rise easily above the Allied bombers that were coming in to attack Germany, and dive down and just knock them out of the sky like hunting ducks. It only had a flying time of about 9 minutes. And because they didn't have the technology quite right, very often the Comet itself would explode. Good thing that that happened, because this would have turned the tide of war if they had been able to develop a rocket plane. So there we go. Go all the way from peroxide blondes to rocket engines. And now you know a little bit about the chemistry of hydrogen peroxide. And no, I do not have to social distance from her. I don't think she's breathing out any virus.